Okay. Who remembers fractions from grade school?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. So now we've jumped to chapter 2. I believe we'll be on page 13. Oh, this is painful today. Okay, and we're going to get out of this book because this is going to drive me nuts. We're going to get on a whiteboard and we'll just do it there. All right. So, can everybody see the whiteboard?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So we're talking about fractions. And if you look on page 12 in your book, we have proper fractions. You know, those are the ones that stand up straight and they have smaller numbers on top than they have at the bottom. We have improper fractions where the larger number is on top and the smaller number is on the bottom, and that just turns the whole world upside down. So those are improper fractions. Mixed numbers where we have a whole number and a fraction. And then complex fractions where you have a fraction on top of on the top as a numerator of the fraction. Not going to worry too much about those. So when we are talking about fractions, some of the basic rules of fractions is when it's an improper fraction, such as 6/5. We're not going to make it with this. Okay, let's go with text. So we have 6/5. That's an improper fraction, right? How do we change that to a proper fraction? You may know.
1 1/5.
You gotta divide it.
So we're going to divide it. We're going to divide the 6
5
by
into-
the 5, so the 5 goes into 6 one time, right?
1 1/5.
And then our remainder, or what do we have left? Go away. Okay, so our remainder, or what we have left, is we have 1, and then we have 1 left, and we put that over our denominator. So 1 1/5. Okay. If we had a fraction that was 21/4, okay, what would that come out to?
5 1/4.
5 1/4, yes. Does everybody understand how I got there?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't want to, beat a dead horse. You guys, this is the basics here. Okay. So which fraction's bigger? Anybody tell me what's bigger? What's bigger is which one's bigger, 1/2 or 1/3?
1/2.
1/2.
Yes.
Okay. So the fraction with the smaller denominator is a bigger fraction. Okay. Which one's bigger? 5/6 or 2/8?
5 6. Right now,
No, because
Right.
2/8 you can take that
2
down
8,
to
you
something
take down
else.
to 1/4.
Right. Okay. So actually 2/8, if we convert it down to 1/4, 4 is smaller than 6, and so the 2/8 is larger. Okay. So if the denominator is the same, if we have 3/4 and 1/4, the 4s are the same, we have to go with the numerator. So there'd be 3 pieces of 4 in 3/4 and only 1 piece of 4 in the 1/4, so the 3/4 is larger. Okay. The other thing we have to do with fractions is reduce it. Okay. So like we just had in this example, I said 2/8, so 2/8. Okay, we can reduce that because we can divide both top and bottom by 2, right? So 2
Yeah.
divided by 2 is 1. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now we have the lowest value for that. We've converted it to its lowest terms. So on page 16, you have some practice problems. And they need you to put it to lowest term. So number 21 is 10/15. What is the lowest term there?
2/3. Right?
Yes, that is right.
Oh, okay.
I had to think about it for a minute, but 5 goes into 10 twice and 15 3 times, yes.
Okay.
Okay. What about 64/128, number 23?
You reduce it down to 2/4, then you can reduce it down to half.
How did you divide it down to 2/4?
By 32.
Okay, good. Divided both by 32 and then divided it down again by half. Good job. Is everybody following how this is happening? If you are confused, you need to raise your hand. You need to jump up and down and say, Mrs. Novak, you're going too fast. I don't hear anybody jumping up and down. Good. All right. We don't really need to subtract fractions that much, so I'm not going to worry about it. Do you guys remember the rules for multiplying fractions?
Yeah.
Yeah? How do we multiply fractions?
Flip the second fraction.
Multiply.
It's reciprocal.
Hmm?
One of them you gotta flip.
Reciprocal.
Multiply the numerator by the denominator, and then reduce the result to the lowest term.
So you cross.
Multiplying the numerator by the denominator?
You multiply across.
You
Yeah,
multiply
cross.
across. So if you had 5/7 times 1/2, we're going to multiply the 5.
5/14.
1. I mean,
5 times 7 equals
5/14.
35. 7. Oops, being slow today. Okay. And then the 7 times 2 is 14.
No.
Not coming up. So it would be,
So, okay, now I'm lost.
I'm lost too, never mind.
Yeah, it's
Go
5
back.
times 1 and
It
7
should be
times 2.
5 times 1 is 5,
Okay.
right?
Okay, I was like, what?
Yes, okay. Equals 5, and then 7 times 2,
14.
5/14.
5/14.
so we'll have 5/14. So when you're multiplying, you're going to multiply straight across, right? What about if we were dividing these two?
Copy the first number, flip the denominator with the numerator, and then multiply across.
Okay, so we'd have 5/7 divided by
2/1.
2/1, because we're going to flip the second number. And then you multiply across. Okay? So that's 10/7, right?
Mhm.
Okay, and 10/7 is an improper fraction.
1 and 3/7.
So that would equal 1 and 3/7. Okay. Okay. Everybody understand that part? All right, let's look at the chapter review for fractions. And I want you to go to number 51.
So do 1 through 51.
No, I want you to do 51 through 64. Okay, so I'm gonna give you about 10 minutes to figure those out, and then we'll get back to it, okay? If you have a problem with it, let us know.
What page is it?
Page 24.
And what numbers did you say? I'm sorry.
51 through 64.
Okay.
You guys almost done?
Almost.
Okay, couple more minutes. Okay, so let's go through these. Number 51, what's your answer? How much water is remaining?
2/5.
2/5, okay. Does everybody understand how we got 2/5?
Yeah.
Can you explain it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you got 3/5, what did you forget to do?
Flip it or something.
No.
Oh, make it
3/5
a
is
whole
what they
number.
drank. The question asked for what was left. So you had to subtract that from what we started with, and then you got your 1/5, okay? Or your 2/5. All right, number 52, child's oral morphine suspension. Okay, so what part of the dosage was 20 milligrams?
1/5.
1/5.
Okay, everybody get 1/5?
Mm.
No, who did not get 1/5? Anybody not get 1/5? That you're gonna own up to? Okay. How about this? We say Norbert. What is the answer to number 53?
I didn't get that one.
You didn't get that one. Okay, so how are we gonna get that one? What's our initial fraction?
How much remains?
Okay,
So it's 240. 200 over 240.
right, the part over the whole. So 200 over 240. Okay,
Okay.
so we have 200 over 240, and then we subtract that from the whole.
Yeah.
And our answer is
40.
20.
1/6 of the
Oh, whoa.
mixture.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
So
but I
we
have
had-
to figure that out.
they drank 5/6 of the can. 200 milliliters out of the 240 is 5/6. So what's left? It's 140, or the 1/5, right?
I don't understand that.
Didn't get that. How do we get 1/5?
Yeah.
1/6.
Okay, so what,
Somebody, I got like 1/2.
I got 5/6.
It's
okay,
1/6.
5/6. We're gonna start off with 200.
I can't hear somebody's
240,
TV is
right?
playing.
Yeah, we need to mute people here. Okay. So we started off with 200 over 240, right? So we have to find out how much they drank. And if you take that down to lowest terms, we have 5/6, right? The 6 goes into, okay, so then that equals 5/6. All right, but that's what they drank. We started off with 6/6, right? So we have 6/6 minus 5/6. Oops. All right, you're going to subtract the 6 and the 5, and you're going to end up with 1/5, because that's what's remaining.
1/6.
1/6, I'm sorry, yes, 1/6. That's what's remaining in the can. That's how we got to 1/5. 5/6 is correct, but it's not the right answer. You have to find out what the question is asking. That's why we did these word problems, okay? All right. The client takes 1/2 tablet of medication 4 times a day for 4 days. So how many tablets will they take at the end of 4 days?
24.
How much?
6, right?
No.
24.
Wait, one and a half tablet.
I got 10.
Yeah.
I got 24.
Oh, 24.
Right,
Yeah,
because they
24.
are taking 6 tablets a day, right? One
Yes.
and a half times 4 is 6
20.
tablets. And then we're taking it for 4 days.
24 tablet.
That's 24. All right. So if the glass of juice holds 120 milliliters and the client drinks 2 1/3 glasses, how many milliliters did they consume?
280.
I heard 320. Is that correct?
280.
280.
280.
Okay, well, let's look at this, all right?
40.
Versus make sure I got the right answer. 55. 280 milliliters is the answer in the book.
Right.
So how did we get there? How did you do that?
I divided the 120 the 120 by like thirds, or yeah. I figured out what 1/3 of the
120 was, which would be 40.
Yeah, and then multiplied the 120
By 2.
by 2 and then added the 40.
Yeah, 280. That's what I got.
Okay, very good. Doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get the right answer, right?
Sorry, I have a like messed up way of thinking what they
Oh, I think very strangely when it comes to math too. All right. On admission, the client weighed 150 3/4 pounds. On discharge, he weighed 148 1/2. How much did the client lose?
Is it 2 1/4 pound?
2 1/4 pounds, correct.
Okay.
Very good. So, how many hours are there in 3.5 days?
94.
84 hours.
84 hours, very good. Okay, if the client consumed 2 1/4 ounces of tea, 1/3 ounce of juice, 1 1/2 ounces of Jello, what's the total number of ounces consumed by the client?
4.5.
I did not get this one.
4.5.
No, not 4 1/2.
49.
I got 4 and 1/12.
4 1/12 is correct. So remember, we're going to add all these together, right? We need to come up with a common denominator. So what's the common denominator of 4, 3, and 2?
12?
12, right?
Yeah.
The
You're
answer
going
book
to
says
change
4.
2 1/4 to, we're going to multiply the fractions both sides by 3 to get 12. So 2 1/4 comes out to 2 3/12 plus 4/12 for 1/3 ounce plus 6/12, so 1 6/12 ounces of Jello. If you add them all together, you add the 2 and the 1 that's 3, and then add the 1/4, the 1/3, and the 2. I'm sorry, 4/12, no, 3/12, 4/12, and 6/12 together. You get 4 1/12 ounces. Everybody follow me there? If you did, God bless you. All right, don't forget you have to change those denominators. 1 tablet contains 200 milligrams of pain medicine. How many milligrams are in 3 1/2 tablets?
700.
700.
700 milligrams.
I
Now, those of you
respect
who know how to
anyone that
do
can come
fractions
up with
real
their
quick.
milligrams that fast. You go,
I work in
Elmira.
nursing, have been for 20 years.
All right, you have that like that's awesome.
So 3 1/2 tablets times 200 is 700.
700, correct.
Okay, 60 Bottle of medicine contains 30 doses. So how many doses are in 2.5 bottles?
75.
75.
Very good. Nurse gave client 1¾ tablespoons of medicine with breakfast, a half a tablespoon at lunch, and a half a tablespoon at dinner, and then 1¼ tablespoons at bedtime. I don't know about this nurse. So how much medication did the nurse administer? What's our common
3.
denominator?
4.
4.
4.
4. Yes, that's the common denominator. So you're going to divide, change all those to fourths, and then add them up, and we come up with, and I heard the answer, 3 tablespoons. Okay.
What's the answer for this?
The answer
Again?
for that was 3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons.
Client weighs 160 pounds. So the previous visit to the doctor. At this visit, the client weighs 2¾ pounds more. So how much do they weigh all together?
163 and
63
1/4
and
pounds.
a quarter.
163¼ is correct. At the beginning of the shift, there are 5¼ bottles of hand sanitizer available. At the end of the shift, 3½ bottles are left. How much was used?
2
Or you can make
1/4. 2
1
1/4.
3/4.
1¾ bottles. Very good.
I can't do y'all. Y'all are getting on my nerves. No.
I don't think that was for us. I believe that
Pretty sure
she
that
was-
wasn't for us, yes.
I believe she was speaking to her children.
I'm sorry if I'm getting on your nerves. Okay. At the client was given a 16-ounce container of water to drink throughout the day. The client drank 7/8 of the container. How many ounces did the client drink? So 7/8.
14.
16
14.
is 14 ounces. Very good. Does everybody understand how we got to these answers? The reason I assigned these problems is because they were word problems and you had to figure out what it is they want you to answer. And we had a couple of issues there where we answered what they drank, not what was left, okay? These are the kind of things that they're gonna do to you. You need to be able to figure those out. We'll see those a lot. All right, decimals. All right.
Can I just one
Those of you
second?
with calculators, I'm pretty sure you already knew this, but if you take the decimal or the fraction and divide the numerator by the denominator, you're going to get a decimal. And then you can just add all those decimals together on your calculator and it's much easier. Okay, so let's look at decimal place value. First of all, rules about decimals. We never have a naked, there is never, no naked decimal points. All right. Where'd you go? All right, no naked decimal points because this could be misread as 1. All right. So no naked decimal points and no junk in the trunk. So 0.10, right? We don't want this X. We don't want that 0 there because if you miss the decimal point here, you're going to give 10 instead of 1/10. So no naked decimal points, no junk in the trunk, no zeros on the end. Okay, that's the rule, hard and fast rule. If you put down a naked decimal point or an extra 0, it's going to be incorrect. All right, so following our rules here, okay, those are wrong. So what's the first one there? The 0.1. How much is that?
10%.
Not 10%. It's 0.1 is equal to 1/10.
I'm sorry, I meant 1.
Yeah.
To 1%.
No, it's 10th. A 10th. It's not a percent, it's a 10th. When we have decimals, we have tenths, we have hundredths, and we have thousandths of something. All right? So 0.1 is 1/10. All right? 0.01 is 1/100th. And 0.001 is 1/1000th.
Please, please make sure you're all writing this down. I know everyone knows these decimal places. You've done it since elementary school, but you will see problems like this on your math final. Do not let any problem like this get you points taken away, okay? Make sure you write it down, review it, live it, love it, learn it, okay? I know it seems simple, it's just a review, but it is crucial.
Okay, so if I had 0.34, what does that equal to?
Is it 340?
No,
No,
0.34. What does that equal? What do we call that?
34 tenths.
34 hundredths.
34 hundredths.
3/10 and 400.
No. 34, and then what's our decimal place? We go to the hundredths, right?
Hundredths. Yes.
So this is 34 hundredths. Hundredths. Okay, let's try another one.
The professor last term used to say hundredths, the one where you spit. Like she used to
That's
make it a
spit?
big deal when she said hundredths that you spit to help you remember.
0.33. So what do we call this?
1 and 33 hundredths.
Right, 1 and 33 hundredths. I can't spit, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. What would it be if it was 0.9?
9/10.
9/10. Very
9
good.
10.
So you just go to whatever place value you are at. Say it's this number plus whatever the place value is. If there's a whole number, we say the whole number and the place value. Okay? The other thing that students have a lot of trouble with is rounding. When we round, anything that is greater than, let's see here, greater than 5 or greater, okay? Equal to or greater than 5 goes up. Okay? So less than 5 goes down. So if we look at this number here, and if we were going to round to the nearest tenth, which is what we have to do most of the time. Okay? So 4 and 15th hundredths rounds down to what? To the nearest tenth.
Up.
4 and 1500.
So 4 and 2 tenths.
Okay? So this would round up to 4.2, 4.2
Yes.
or 4 and 2/10. Because the 5 is greater than 5, or greater than or equal than 5, we're going to make the 10th number go up. Okay. So since we have, all right, so we have a 5 here. That's going to make this number go up. What about 1 2/4 to the nearest tenth?
1 and 2/10.
All right, 1.2. Because the 4 is going to stay the same. I'm sorry, go down isn't correct. Should be stay the same. Okay. So since 4 is less than 5, that means this tenth stays the same. It's not going to change. Okay, I'm going to round 0.98 to the nearest tenth. What is that?
1.
1.
It's going to be 1, right? Because it's going to be, we go to the nearest tenth, we're going to change that 9 to a 0. And so that would be 1. All right. So let's look at our rounding exercises. Okay, so on page 41, let's do 21 through 25. So we have 1.75 and we want to go to the nearest tenth. So what will the answer be?
1.8.
1.8, very good. Number 23, 0.13. What will we do to round to the nearest tenth?
0.1.
0.1, very good. So then the following is to the nearest hundredths.
1.43.
1.43 is correct, okay, because that 7 is going to change the hundredth spot to a 3. Number 25, 0.147.
0.15.
0.15.
1.5. And if I was going to round that farther down to the tenths, what would that be?
0.2.
0.1.
0.2. 5 and greater goes up. So that would equal 0.2.
No. No. Get your other one.
All right. People are sending me things I don't need. Okay. So like I said before, we can change fractions into decimals. So we're going to divide the denominator by the numerator by the denominator. So 1 divided by 4.
Is 0.75.
No.
Oh, wait.
0.25.
0.25. Yes. 2/3.
0.6. 66.
0.66. Okay. 3/4.
0.75.
That's right. And 1/8.
0.125.
Very good. Okay. So one of the easier ways to add all these up or multiply or divide or whatever is to change them to a decimal and pop them in your calculators. Okay. All right. Ratio and proportion, chapter 4 is very important because you're going to be using ratio and proportion to figure out dosages, basically, all right? So when we're talking about a ratio, and we see a 1 to 5 solution, all right? So when we say 1 to 5, okay? This means it's 1 part out of 5. It's the same thing as 1 over 5, okay? When we're figuring out a proportion, we want to have both sides equal, so it'll be here, and then we'll have, let's see here, 1 to 5. Let's change that. Let's change that to something I can do in my head, okay? So 3 to 4 is the same as or equal to 6 over 6 to 8, right? And how you can verify that is we're going to, okay, we're going to multiply our inners and outers, okay? So the inside here, 4 times 6 is 24. And your outside numbers, your 2 outside numbers, 8 times 3 is 24. That way we know our ratio is right because it's the same number both ways, right? So you will see things written like, you know, the 3 colon 4, okay? You could see 3 colon 4 and then double colon 6 colon 8. This double colon means equal. So you may see things like that. So 3 is to 4 equals 6 is to 8. All right. So inners and outers are means and extremes. I like innie and outie and remember that better. So a lot of times we need to solve for X. This is not algebra, so nobody freak out. Okay. So if we have 12 is to 9 equals 8 is to X. We're going to solve that by multiplying the extremes and the means. All right. So your means, go away. Boy, I'm just having all kinds of technical issues today. So it would be 9 times 8 is 72. And that's going to equal 12x. Because we don't know what number x is, right? So we can't multiply it by it. So in order to get rid of this x, we need to divide both sides by 12. Okay, oops, let's go over here. So 72 divided by 12. Okay, and that's going to equal 12 divided by 12. All right, so
X equals 6.
take our x out here. X equals, what is 72 divided by 12?
6.
6? Is that what I heard? Okay, so x equals 6. So we can plop that back in our equation here. And we have 12 is to 9 equals 8 is to 6. Multiply our means and our extremes. 9 times 8 is 72. And 12 times 6 is 72. They're equal. So therefore, we have the correct answer. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Everybody understand how that happens? This is very important to figure out. If there's anybody having a problem with it, I need to know now. Okay. Ugh. So on page 50, number 10 through 14, go ahead and solve for X.
I'm sorry, what questions are we doing again?
Page 50, practice problems, numbers 10 through 14.
Thank you.
Okay, we ready?
No.
No. Okay, 3 more minutes. Okay, let's get some answers here. What did you get for, what did we say? What questions are we doing? 6? Number 10.
10.
What was X in number 10?
4.8.
Nope.
1.6.
9.6.
9.6. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to multiply 5 times 24, and that's going to equal 12.5x. And then you divide both sides by the number in the x, which is 12.5, to get your what x means. Okay?
Can you explain that again?
Okay, so we have 12.5 is to 5, and that equals 24 is to x. Okay? So we're going to, hopefully this is going to work now. No. All right. We're going to multiply 5 times 24, which equals what?
120.
120, okay. And that's going to equal our 12.5x. Now we're going to divide both sides by the number with the x. So 120 divided by 12.5.
1.6.
X equals 9.6. Okay, did you see how we did that? Whoever was asking?
Yes, I was doing the wrong one by accident.
You did the wrong one, okay. Number 11, 1 is to 5, 1.5 to 1 equals 4.5 to x.
3.
3.
3.
Yes, x equals 3. Number 12,
3.75.
no,
2.4.
2.4.
2.4. When it's set up like this, so we have 750 divided by, or over 3. That's the same as 750 dot dot 3, okay? And that's going to equal 600x. This time you're going to go across. So instead of doing ins and outs, you're going to do 750 times x equals 1800, which is 3 times 600, right? And then divide both sides by 750, and you get 2.4, correct? So 1/300 divided by 3 equals 1/20 equals x, or to x. Number 13.
Echo. 0.00083.
7.5.
7.5,
7.5.
okay? Because remember, you're going to multiply the 2 in the middle and the 2 on the ends and divide.
Yeah.
Number 14,
18.
18.
very good, okay? You're going to get a lot more practice in this. We're going to have to practice it a lot. When we're doing all our med calculations, we'll be doing a version of that. Okay, last chapter, real quick here so we can get through. So we're going to talk about percents. And percents are nothing more than the number over 100. So 4% equals 4 over 100. And you can change that to a decimal as 0.04 or 4/100ths. All right? So whenever you see a percentage, it means that number over 100. All right. So what you're going to run into this for is how many grams of medication will there be in a 10% solution if we have 500 milliliters. So your 10% solution is 10 over 100 or 0.01, 1/100th, right? And we know that we have, so be 10 grams per 100, all right? So if we're looking at the problem on page 59, 250 milliliters IV of 10% dextrose is going to contain 25 grams of dextrose. So your percentage is grams per 100, therefore it's 10%, which equals 10 per 100. All right, so we're going to take our 10 over 100, and that's going to equal, all right, we don't know how many grams yet because that's what we're asking for, so that'll be an X to 250. All right, so it will be, it means in extremes, so that's 100X equals 2,500. Okay, divide both sides by 100.
Yeah, fuck that, darling.
I don't think that was for you, Professor Novak. I muted
Thank
that
you.
person.
So we would have X equals 25. So we have 25 grams of dextrose in a 10% solution. See how that problem got set up?
Yeah.
Okay, you could also do it. We have to keep our values together. So if we have 100 milliliters and 10 grams, or 10 grams per 100 milliliters. So you're going to have, if you're going to do a fraction, it's going to have to be 10, right?
Yes.
And that'll be over, we'll come back here, 100. And that's going to equal, I gotta get a pad. All right. We don't know how many grams we have right now, right? But we do know how many milliliters we have. So we got to put that on the bottom with the other milliliters. Okay. So we're going to cross multiply now. So 10 times 250 is our 2,500. And that equals 100X. Okay, 100X equals 2,500. Divide both sides by 10, you have the same thing. So you can set it up as a ratio with the dots and do means and extremes, or you can set it up as a fraction and cross multiply and then divide. There's two different ways to do that. So let's figure out how many grams of medication will 500 milliliters of 10% solution contain. So how many grams of medication is in a 10% solution? That would be 10 per
100.
100, right? And this time, instead of 250,
500.
we have 500, okay?
So 50.
Yes. So how many grams of dextrose will be in a 5% solution?
100 gram, I think.
So remember, the 5% solution will be 5 over 100,
Okay.
5 grams over 100. And that's going to equal, we don't know how many grams, right? And there's 250. So 100 times X, 5 times 250.
So 5.
12.5.
12.5.
12.5 is correct. Good job. All right. So I think we've fried our brains enough with math. So remember, your assignment is to do the post-test and send me a picture of what you did. All right. If you're having trouble completing this or getting the answers that are in the book, let us know. We will walk you through it. Okay? We're here to help you. I don't want anybody floundering around in math without getting help. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Trust me, I love to tutor math. Math was my absolute worst subject. The nuns told me I would never be a nurse because I couldn't do math. Well, it took me a while, but I proved them wrong. And now I'm teaching you guys math, okay? So don't be, nervous, afraid, embarrassed that you don't know how to do this and everybody else seems to know how to do it, all right? Call me up, write me an email. We'll get it right, okay? And the reason we're doing this now is so that we can be safe as nurses. All righty. So, Miss Dolph, are you planning on demonstrating PPEs today and hand washing?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to turn this over to Miss Dolph, and we're going to do our demo on PPEs and hand washing.
Hold on one sec. Did I miss it or did we take a break?
Oh,
Did I
we
miss-
we get a break in lab?
Well, it's been an hour and a half.
It's been an hour and a half. Yes,
An hour and
have
40.
a break.
Sounds good.
An hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, we need break.
Take a 10-minute break.
Kaplan need a break
Okay,
too.
I was like, did I just space out and
Yes,
totally
you
miss
missed it totally,
or what?
Amber. We went on break and you missed it all.
These days, girl, I got 5 books open, 6
I
things.
know.
All right.
Okay,
Great
10
work,
minutes.
everyone. Truly be very proud of yourselves, okay? And Professor Novak isn't lying when she says she loves to tutor math. She really does, but she's also not the only person who can help, okay? So we don't care who you reach out to, please reach out to somebody, all
Okay.
right? Enjoy your break.
All right.
Want a picture?
Okay, is everybody back? Put your cameras back on. All right. And if you want to set your Zoom to speaker view, it would probably be easier for you to see Miss Dolph while she's demonstrating. So up at the top, it has view, and change it to speaker view so you can see her. All right, Professor Dolph, are you ready? No, she's not back yet.
Would I be better in speaker view?
You're fine. Yes, speaker view is good.
Is that what I'm in?
That's what you're in on my machine.
Okay. So we're going to start with PPE. And what's PPE stand for? Does anybody know?
Equipment.
Personal protective equipment. Yes. And don't have to worry about getting yours out yet because you're going to help me put it on. Okay? But this is what you're going to be getting out later from your bags. But this is what I'm going to be working with. But you're going to help me put it on correctly. Okay? Because I've only been a nurse for 42 years. So I'm going to need your help. Because I'm not sure about all this. I do know that putting it on is called donning. So we're going to be donning our personal protective equipment. Now, I'm going to open this up, and I have this thing. I guess it's round, and it's got a hole in it. I've got this thing that's kind of flat with and then I got so you're going to help me. What do you think I should put on first? What do you think? This is called donning. What do you think I need to put on first?
Your gown.
Gloves.
Hairnet.
The gown?
I think gloves.
No, gloves is last.
Gloves is last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your hairnet.
Well, let's start with the gown. What does the gown look like?
Yellow.
This?
No, it's yellow thing.
Yellow.
Oh, it's the same. It's
The yellow thing.
Okay. How do I put it on?
You put your arm as if the opening should be to the back.
Guys,
The opening is, to the back.
Put my arms in.
Both one arm.
More.
One arm per sleeve.
A one arm per sleeve.
Yes.
And it has to go on backwards.
Yes.
Yes.
That
It
doesn't
should.
seem right.
It is right.
That is right.
Why
You're
would
going to tie it up and
backwards?
you're covering up your clothing
Why?
for protection.
Protection, yes.
against fumes,
That's why.
splashes.
See,
Okay.
Norbert's
You're already
demonstrating
dressed.
for you.
He is.
All right. Are you sure about this?
Almost positive.
Yes.
You're almost positive. Okay.
Yeah.
You say so.
Norbert already had his gown on.
Okay, now what do I do with this? I've still got these things.
Go to tie
You
him.
tie those. You tie it in the back.
Tie it in the back. I want you guys to see.
You may need help. You may need help.
I don't have help.
Tie it like a shoestring.
Oh.
I like a shoestring.
And sometimes it's not possible and someone may need to help you tie it.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. I'll do the best I can. How's that?
That's great. That's all we ask.
Good,
Okay. How's that?
Good.
good, good.
Oh, you forgot the one at the top.
Top, yeah.
I forgot that too?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Okay, you say so. This is called a gown,
Yes,
Yes.
the isolation gown.
an isolation gown. And what's this process called that's putting on? It's called
Dawning.
dawning. Very good. And you are right, this yellow gown goes on first. And sometimes you would want to wear a cap. So that's what's gonna go on next.
Listen.
Next, you're gonna put on
Your hairnet.
Your hairnet.
A
your
hair-
mask.
So I gotta find my hairnet.
Oh.
I think I figured that one out.
Good.
Yo, again.
How's it look?
Good.
Is it good?
Not, no.
No,
No?
it has to cover your whole head.
Your hair, all of your hair is in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit.
That's not the hair.
No.
That's not the one for your head.
Open it up.
What's this for then?
It's the lighter blue
Oh,
one.
that's for your
That's
shoes.
a shoe cover.
Oh,
That's for your shoes.
and how about this one?
No,
That's the
That is shoe cover too.
Oh, it is?
other shoe cover.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, okay. How about this one?
Yeah. No.
That is
Yes,
right.
that is
yes,
it.
that's right.
It's cute, but no. Cover all your hair.
It's like a Halloween costume.
Oh, my hair. There.
More.
No.
Pull it down the front.
You don't get to keep a bang.
Oh, come on.
Putting in it.
Your hair has to get in.
Party poopers.
Party poopers.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, she muted herself. She just-
Debbie, you muted yourself.
oh, she's unmuted. Oh, no, you just muted yourself.
You're confusing.
Oh, there you go.
Having party.
What's next?
Your face mask.
Shoes.
Your shoes.
Oh, your shoes. I keep forgetting. Shoes.
These?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I think I can get them on.
We can't see that. I'm gonna break her leg.
I gotta put this in on the other, right?
Yep.
It's fun.
Ta-da! What goes on next?
Mask.
Put a mask on now.
Your face mask.
Yep.
Face mask.
No.
Nah.
No.
Nope.
Turn it.
Wrong way.
No?
No.
No.
Turn it.
No.
No?
It's still wrong.
No.
Like that.
Yeah, but you need to find that little what do you call the band thing?
The no, you will
The
find,
nose,
yeah.
yeah, thing.
It's a
yeah.
metal
Yeah.
with the bar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's steel or
I'll call it.
something. I don't know.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yes, that
Yeah.
thing.
What do I do with it?
That's the thing.
That goes at
Cover
the
your
bridge of your
nose.
nose.
Cover your nose, and you gotta make sure you.
It doesn't stay.
But you have to
tie
be-
the
Tie it.
strings.
Tie it. Grab the strings from the top of the mask and wrap it around your head.
Around the
and
head.
Tie it.
Tie them.
The crown of your head
Okay.
and the base of your neck.
And then take the bottom strings and tie those behind your
Around the neck. Yeah.
chin, under your
Base
chin.
of your neck.
your mouth.
Oh my goodness.
I can't breathe.
You are.
The base of your
Just
neck.
covering your nose.
Gotta cover your mouth.
It has to go over your
Oh my goodness.
mouth. Yes, cover your mouth.
Oh! Whoa!
Oh, shoot. There you go.
Oh my! I can't breathe.
You can.
Oh, what's next?
Your gloves.
Gloves.
Nope. Face shield.
Oh.
Goggles.
Goggles. Yeah, we'll
Goggles,
go.
yeah.
5 to 10 goggles.
Oh,
Okay.
wait.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I have to put
Now
my
your gloves.
on. I'm having trouble getting my goggles back on. Hold on a minute. Hey, I can see you again.
And when you put your gloves on, make sure the yellow of your gown is over by your
Yeah.
thumb.
Now make sure when I put my gloves on, what?
Make sure the
Top of
yellow
that.
gown is up by your thumb.
To cover the cuffs.
Cover the cuffs.
Yes.
How's that?
Great.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
Just talking.
How's that? Is that fashionable?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, do I have to put the other on? This is
Yes.
hot. Oh, you guys are so demanding. Okay, I'll put the other on. Okay, now let's review this. What we put on first?
A gown,
The gown, and then
your cap,
the cap, and then the
shoe cover,
Shoes cover.
covers, and then
your face
Mask on.
the
Goggles.
Goggles.
and then the
Gloves.
Gloves.
gloves. Can you say it fast? Gown, cap, booties,
Booties,
goggles,
yeah.
gloves. One more time, okay? Gown, cap,
Hat.
mask, booties.
No.
No, oh,
No.
not me.
Mask, goggles, gloves.
Uh, you
Okay,
fell there.
gown, cap, booties, mask, goggles, gloves.
Correct.
Do you need to write it down? Because a lot of times this will be on a test. What order do you put PPE on? Do you need to write it down?
I get my boot.
Gown,
yes,
Hairnet,
cap,
shoes,
booties,
Shoe cover. Mask. Goggles and gloves.
goggles,
gloves.
gloves.
Gloves, yes.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, do I have to walk around like this forever?
No.
No.
Oh, good.
You
Oh,
are
well,
not
yeah,
supposed
in this day and age, but no.
True story.
When you get it off, it's called dolphin.
What?
Dolphin.
Dolphin.
OLPHING. It's
Golfing.
my name. Yeah, it's like my name with ING behind it. Dolphin. Okay, now what do you think comes off first?
Gloves.
Your glove.
Huh?
No, gown.
No, the gloves.
Oh,
Gown.
just take
No.
your
Your
gloves.
gloves, because anything that's contaminated on your gloves is gonna go on your
Like, on your
gown.
body.
You're gonna
It's
put it
coming
on
on
you,
there.
so you need to take the gloves off first.
You take your gloves off first.
I'm sorry.
And there's a certain way to do it. You grab the inside of your glove and you pull it one way with your hand the other.
Uh-huh.
Then you wad it up in a ball. And then you take your finger
Inside it, inside.
and you go
Inside, yeah.
inside the glove and you pull it off so that it's inside out. Now, if this has blood and body secretions on it, what red bag do I put this in?
Biohazard.
Hazard container bag.
You, the biohazard bag. So the gloves come off first. And there's my biohazard bag. Eyewear or mask goggles come off second. Then your gown. A lot of hospitals have where you can just grab the insides
Rip
and
it.
you would rip them. But here you have to practice. So you untie it. Because you don't want to touch the front of this because it's got all kinds of germs on it. And I'm hoping I don't get it in a knot, which I think I just did. Wouldn't you know, right?
Good thing they're long.
We're having all kinds of technical issues today. Okay. Then you grab just the inside of the neck and you try to pull it down and then you shimmy out of it the best you can.
That don't seem right.
No,
Something about that don't seem right.
you pull it
The
out.
shimmy or the pulling off and all that. You want to touch the insides. Ball it out.
Grab it on the inside and you roll it away from you.
Yes.
And you can keep it away from your clothes. And you throw it in the biohazard bag. If you have the kind, well, you really, if you're only going to wear it once where you don't have to practice it, you just grab it and break the ties, and then you just get out of it. Does that make sense? That way you don't have to shimmy. You just break it and get out of it. What comes off next?
Shoe covering.
Shoes.
The shoe coverings would be next. So you just grab the inside and pull them off. And that goes in biohazard. When you're old, you have to hold on to something so you don't fall. Next would be your mask. You want to untie the back of it. And then get it away from your face. And it goes in biohazard. And this would be a bag instead of a big lump there. And then last is your cap. And that is called dolphin. So it's gloves, goggles or eyewear, gown,
Shoes.
booties,
Yes.
mask, Cap. Is there any questions about that? When we bring our groups, we will have you practice putting them on and taking them off. Okay?
Thank you so much, Mrs. Dolph. That was amazing.
Thank you.
The one little thing I'm gonna say is when you're taking your tie mask off, you need to untie the bottom first so it doesn't flop on your clothes, okay? So you'll undo the bottom tie and then the top tie and pull it straight away from your face, as opposed to letting it fall on your clothes. Other than that, you get an A+.
Thank you.
I have to say, Professor Dolph, I have not laughed that hard. Oh my God. Thank you. I needed that on this afternoon. Thank you. That was beautiful. And to all the students, I compliment
You did a great job.
your patient education. You probably didn't even realize it, but you did amazing patient education and you did so well kind of adjusting to her level, right? You know, sometimes you start a little too high and you got to break it down a little bit further. You know, you all did that very well. You stayed calm.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm gonna send you off to your breakout rooms. Group A will be with Miss Kaplan, and Group B will be with Professor Dolph, and you're gonna practice putting on PPE and when you're going to do it, and you're gonna practice some medical terminology, and I will see you all back here about 3:45, okay?
Okay.
Washing as well.
So I'm gonna open your rooms now.
Wait, are we doing hand washing, Professor Dolph asked?
You can do that in your room.
Okay.
Okay, so if we don't get to medical terminology,
That's
today,
okay.
maybe.
We can
Okay,
get it next week.
Okay.
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 Okay, something should pop up on your screen to tell you to go to a breakout room. Mahogany, what room are you supposed to be in?
Group A.
Group A, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
Thank you.
Aaron Riley, what group are you supposed to be in? You're in B. Did you get your notice to do this? And Whitney? Okay, I'm confused. I'm in, did we put it into the PNR board? You put it into the PNR board? Does that have to go in my login papers? Okay. Oh, Lord, that's ridiculous. Okay. Double check. Maybe they read the whole thing. Is that all login? We're screwed. Okay, here we go. All right, thank you. Bye. Choose here. Choose here. Choose here. Oops, picture. Just
Hazard, what comes off next?
A face mask.
Yeah, uncover the bottom one first, or untie the bottom one first, and then the top one, and get it away from your face. Good. And then the last thing is the cap. Good.
Very, very well to your face, because if you don't, germs can get in there, right? So you're gonna tie, I like to tie the top one up over the top of my ears,
Yeah.
and then I tie the bottom one. And remember, it's very important, you have to pull this part down under your chin. I cannot stand when I see people out and about and they have their masks and they're like this. Like, bro, you're like, this is not helping you. Okay, so we've got our mask, and remember, metal part up here melded really well to our face. We tie it up over the top of our ears and then around the back. Okay, and now we would grab our
Goggles.
face shield, goggles, eye protection, whatever we need. I don't have anything handy right now, so sorry, guys. Okay, and then finally,
Gloves.
gloves. Yes.
Yay.
So it doesn't
Professor
really
Kaplan,
matter. Oh, yes.
Professor Kaplan,
Yeah.
I hate to interrupt, but I made a mistake. I know it's
Okay.
amazing, but you don't have to be back until 4:45 because we're here till 5.
Oh, okay, cool. So we don't have to rush, like we're
You
not
don't have to
in a-
rush.
in a
Relax,
huge super
get
rush.
through it. You guys
Okay.
look really great.
Okay, thank you. Well, yeah, I told him we're doing it twice anyway. We'll do it more than once anyway, so, okay. All right, so gloves, we're not putting on sterile gloves here, so you just want to make sure, obviously, thumb goes in the thumb. Regular gloves are ambidextrous, right? So you can use, doesn't matter which one you use for which hand. And what do we need to make sure about our gloves and our
About 2 inches above your wrist, and you're holding your hands down the entire time.
Excuse me, Professor Dolph. I hate
Yes,
to interrupt, but I
yes.
came in to tell you that I made a mistake. I know it's unusual, but you guys don't need to come back until 4:45 because your lab is till 5.
Oh,
You have
okay,
more time than you thought. So
okay.
you guys are doing great. Thank you.
You're welcome, bye.
Bye.
Okay, make sure that you really get your wrist area while you're